Alright, so this is day 4 of renovations on this small condo. Just getting in the car, heading there now, out to Fort Collins. Today's to-do list, not a whole lot. I really just need to finish off this backsplash completely. I can do the rest of the wall that I need to, and then seal everything up. Aside from that, I want to get a really good head start on this fireplace. I think I may be able to start laying out some of these stones and get the bulk of those actually in place and finished. If I can get those two things done in about 5 or 6 hours, I would call it a day and head home. I arrived to the unit and jumped straight into work here. I'm laying out some old trash bags with some blue tape just to catch some of the grout as it's falling down. It doesn't make a huge mess, but it's a lot easier just to ball it up and throw it in the trash rather than trying to wipe it off of the countertops. For the spacers, I decided to go with 1/16 of an inch. I think it's not too thick, not too thin. It looks good with subway tile. Some people prefer to go a little slimmer. That's perfectly fine. It's really just up to your own preference. But if you're gonna do this, make sure you're keeping these spacers. These are not a one-time use. You can reuse these for sure. Alright, so after some initial prep work, I'm ready to get started grouting this final wall. Just forgot, I'm gonna kill the electricity on these outlets here. Okay, with that final touch-up, I have finished all of the grout now. I think it's looking pretty good, a lot better than it did before. I'm gonna give this wall a little time to dry. Just gonna take a quick snack break here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and seal this wall. So, while ceramic tile typically doesn't need to be sealed, the grout absolutely has to be, especially if I wanna maintain that nice off-white color over the next several years. I'm just going to use this 511 impregnator sealer. I'm not trying to enhance the ceramic tile in any way, so this is just your base sealer here. Putting on sealer is pretty straightforward. You're essentially just wiping it on with a clean rag, fully saturating the grout, waiting a few minutes but not too long, and then simply wiping it off. Alright, I'm just going to give this about 5 minutes to really soak in there, then I'm just going to wipe off all the excess with a separate clean white rag. With that project looking pretty well, I've now shifted my focus to the fireplace, just doing a quick cleanup here so I have a nice area to work with. A high quality oscillating tool is simply a must-have for any home renovation, and it took me a while to realize this. If you don't have one, go purchase one, add it to your tool belt. You won't be sorry. I'm cutting away a very small portion of wood flooring along with a little slither of baseboard. This is going to make way for some additional stonework around the fireplace. For the fireplace, I went back and forth if I was going to widen it or not. I finally decided I am going to be widening it by 3 inches on both sides. Where it's white here, that's only 9 inches. It seemed a little too crowded with the stone that I'm going to be placing here. So where you see this black line is where it's going to come out to. And I'm still debating on how high I want to go up, but I'm probably going to go up 1 level higher. So it's not so much as a square as it looks. The stone I chose for the fireplace is a Niagara split face quartzite. It's really affordable. I think it's gonna look awesome on here. You can see at the bottom I had to add a little slither of stone just to make sure it lined up properly near the top of the fireplace itself. Alright, so that's going to be the end of day 4. I was able to finish most of the fireplace here. I wanted to keep going, but I didn't have any solid way of propping up that centerpiece. So I thought it would be best just to call it a day here. Didn't want to risk the whole thing collapsing down. Just let that get a strong, solid dry. Finish that off tomorrow. As far as the backsplash, I was able to do both sides grout and sealed. All I need to do is finish off with a line of caulk, buy some medium long screws for the electrical outlets, but I need to do that countertop before I put the caulk in.